How's it going, everybody? My friend from work ended up wanting me to take a look at this. His daughter's gonna be racing this next year, at least practicing on it. He ended up picking this thing up for 150 bucks, but got some issues. Ignition's pulled out. He said it's never been run before, but I don't know. I think they were maybe fibbing a little bit on that, because there's some signs of some residue around there. Then taking a look down over by the oil, it does look like the oil's a little bit dirty, but I guess this is a KXD Moto KXD010 56.8 cc's. Said he's got the windshield for it, so that's not one of the things that we're going to be taking care of first off. But we're going to be looking into which wire goes to which. And he said he's not worried about having a key, he just wants to get it going. So we're going to put just an on and off switch on there. Somebody's already been messing with these wires, trying to connect it, see what's going on there. But yeah, so we're gonna get these fairings off, start pulling stuff apart, start tracing some wires. It's definitely gonna have a dead battery. I think it's from, let's see if we could focus on here. I don't think so, but it's from 2017. If it's from 2017, it's been sitting that whole time. It's definitely gonna have a dead battery. So, alright, let's get a little situated here, get some tools out, and start getting at it. You can tell that this thing's been moved around quite a bit. And it's like broken pieces around, and even like this, the bottom piece underneath just completely snapped right off when I was trying to look at to see where the end of the nuts were. So we're gonna have to be doing a little bit of plastic work too. It's not that big of a deal. We're not going to make it look pretty, we're just going to make it hold to where it's not going to be flapping around while she's riding around. But we'll get her there. It's going to take a little bit, but not too bad. We'll figure it out. Set this off to the side. This side's kind of the same way. Well, the bottom part, that's on the other side that we showed earlier, and then this part right here, that's needs to be just sized to fit that, and it's not holding nothing, so this whole side is flopping around. Well, we'll take care of that too. So it's a very basic motor. We're gonna end up just basically pulling out the spark plug, pulling off the carb, cleaning it up because it's been sitting for so long. We'll pull the tank out, you know, rinse it out a little bit, and see if she'll fire up after we get that wiring issue taken care of. See if we can get some spark out of it without a key, just a little switch. And everything else looks pretty good, pretty tight. Nothing's been really messed with up here. Let's see what we got to do to get this tank pulled off. Oh, a couple extra bolts right there. part of the ignition. Or what was left of it. See what we got to get done for the fuel lines over here. Where is it connected to the fuel tank? Is it up at the top or at the bottom? I don't know. See a little bit of rust residue in here. We're gonna have to clean that out really good before we reuse this. But it's a solid tank, so we're not gonna go and start wasting money. We'll get that cleaned up and reused. So this wire looks like it goes to an external charger connector. I don't know. I'm actually going to throw this battery on a tender and see what happens. See if it gets any juice out of it. I'm sure not, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it hasn't been really fired that much. Looks pretty brand new to me. So maybe they didn't run it very long. I don't know. It definitely doesn't need a new one. Looks like maybe they fired it just to test it when it was at the factory, or I don't know. Throttle stiff. It does not want to go. I'm gonna have to throw some lube in there. Just don't know where. It's probably getting stuck at the carburetor. Go ahead and unscrew this. Pull the slide out. See what we're working with down here. Because if it's the line, then that sucks. It's the carburetor. Not too bad then. Because, yeah, it's sticky. Woo! Been sitting a while. Oh yeah, it's definitely just the carburetor getting all stuck up. Smells like straight polish. You really gotta put these right in a spot. Oh, you can't get to them with a screwdriver. There's always a spot where you can put them. You just choose not to pick that spot for some reason. Ever. when you're messing around with stuff with bolts, a lot of bolts, try to put as many back in the same spot as you can. And we're definitely gonna have to I don't know what we're gonna do about this one. Look at that. I've never seen this before in my life. No screw holes. Or no, like, no way of pulling the bowl apart. That's gonna suck. Because now we have to drill that out. Probably tap it. And put some new bolts in. Because this thing is just straight varnished up. I could feel it just like thick. Yeah, it's not cool. Thanks, engineers. So I'm going to try to reuse this little connector. I'm going to unbend the little pieces and reclamp it down. So I knew something was going on with that red wire going to a connector, because I thought it was maybe going down to here because that was the only open spot that had a connector, but that wire doesn't go all the way over there, and that's where it's supposed to be. So I was looking at this. This is one of the green wires that was disconnected. I'm like, why would they have a sheath around just the one green wire? So I came down all the way to where it comes to this big loom. Look at that, look at that. Red wire in here. So now we're gonna cut this back, and yeah, I could feel it right there. We're gonna cut it back and see what's going on. Yeah, so it's definitely for the charging port, because it goes down, you can't really see, let me see. So it goes down into there, which is down here, little charging port. I don't know if he's got the charger. I might have to talk to him Monday when I get to work, but we'll see. But yeah, so had to have been coming up through this wire, you know. I'm sure they had a fuse connection on here. It just got ripped off one out of that end. I'm sure that's where the ground, green, black, ground, red, probably had a little connector to a fuse. And it just got ripped out, so I don't know. We'll wire everything back up to the right way, even though if he doesn't have a charger or not, just in case he ever wants to get one. I mean, it's not that hard to throw a little generic trickle charger on the battery either, which is essentially what I'm going to do anyway. Don't mind all the tools. Start getting everything all together. That's why I only got this little area right now. It's freezing. I got a little heater going. My garage isn't insulated. I got a house from 1911s to the 1930s. They said it was built in, so old knob and tube wiring. I redid all the house. Still haven't touched the garage, so we're getting there. So I don't know if I trust it, but I don't know. We shall see. Alright, so I ended up drilling out these little pins to hold the bottom of the bowl on, so I can actually get in here and start cleaning. So I'm going to show you, completely pull everything apart, clean everything out, reassemble, and hope that it works and we don't have to get a whole new carburetor. Alrighty. Alright, so I drilled out the little ends of these screws holding on to the float bowl because they didn't have any heads on them. It was just flattened. So we're gonna pull that apart. It's all nasty inside from sitting for so long. There's some gelled up fuel in there. We're gonna pull everything apart and give it a nice good cleaning and hope that it all goes back together and works and does what it's supposed to do, so we don't have to get a new carburetor. Pull that little float bowl off, and then right here it's a little slide. I always check that little rubber piece at the end. That's what stops and allows fuel to come in and out. And when this goes up, it stops the fuel, goes down, lets fuel in, fills up the bowl. Couple of jets we got to pull out. Normal screwdriver. We're going to try to remove these bolts too, and then we're going to get some ones with some screw head so we can remove it and put it back on, do whatever we need to do. But we got those jets pulled out. We're gonna spray some cleaner in there, let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna be nice and liberal on all this. Spray it all down. I'm gonna pull out this. This right here is the idle screw. I'm just gonna take everything that I can apart, clean it up. Scrub it down a little bit. Make sure you get all the residue off from all that old gas sitting around for a long time. This is pretty much standard for all carburetors, small engine carburetors at least. Dirt bikes and such, they get a little different. They have like diaphragms and such inside. You gotta be careful when you're taking those apart. You don't want to tear them, so then you gotta sit around and wait for a new gasket set to come. Most of the time you can get lucky without having to put all new gaskets on, but most of the time it's best to get all new ones. But we'll be good with these. They're all good. Not bad. Nice and clean. Alright, let's get all this put back together now. Alright, so figured out the wiring. So red and black, twist them together. If I could get the camera to stay. There we go. So you twist red and black together. Boom. And then there's black with white stripe and green. So what I figured out is, I don't know how well it's going to pick up on the camera, but we have spark. And then when you connect the black and white wire with the green wire, it kills the spark but continues the ignition. So I was trying to figure out what's going on with everything. I found back here is a fusible link, and it takes a 15 amp, where it is down here. It takes a 15 amp fuse. That was of course blown, so I just connected them together real quick until I could get a little fuse going. But yeah, there we go. So now all we got to do is clean the carb up, and then I'm just gonna put a couple of little toggle switches in there for them, fix up them panels, call her a day, and we got another one fixed up. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, so got the carburetor all put back together, all buttoned up, air cleaner's back on, and I ended up finding a keyed switch, but this is a 6-pin. I only got 4, so I'm gonna go see, and if I can try to go ahead and wire this in. Only 2 different ones are these 2 brown ones. We'll have to see what's going on with that. I don't know, it's got a double switch on it. Just click, click. So, I don't know. Gonna try it out. Alright, so got everything all lined up, heat shrink together. The brown and white line, there's, I don't know, nothing that we need with that. So each one matched up, red to red, black and white to black and white, green to green, black to black. And check it out. I don't have the spark plug in right now, so it doesn't have the compression, but it's sparking too. Let's see if we can get you. There you go. Old ATV switch that I had sitting around for, I don't even know, 8-9 years, maybe longer. I'm gonna throw it in on this and just go to town on them plastics, just fix them pieces up, and we should be good to go. I'm cleaning out the gas tank right now. It's got some nasty stuff in there, so can't really see it, but it's pretty nasty. I'm getting that all cleaned up, and then we'll get you back for the first fire up. I guarantee you it'll fire up. It sounds really good. Had compression when the spark plug was in there, so we are good to go. Can't believe that worked. Nice. Oh, gas tank on, seats on, key switch is in. Boom, ready to go. Get those fairings fixed up. And then I'm going to be bringing this bad boy hopefully back to him on Monday.